top of your mat. Welcome to a yummy, gentle flow on a Thursday night. The work week is almost done. Today, since it's closer to bedtime and hopefully this will help us rest a little bit deeper, we're going to go through moon salutations rather than sun salutations. Sun salutations are beautiful any time of day, but they bring a lot of energy. The flow is a little bit faster. And with the moon salutation, just as it sounds, we're starting to align ourselves with darkness and calming our nervous system down. So if you will, you'll just start in a traditional mountain position, feet about hip width distance apart, ground your feet. This might be the first time that you've had bare feet on the ground today. And that's a great feeling, grounding to the center of the earth, really grabbing energy and bringing it back up through your body. Imagine as we go through the moon salutation that the bottom half of your bottom from your pelvis down is pulling deep down into the earth. You're lowering your rib cage, so pushing it down towards your hips, and then the upper part of your body from your torso up is pulling up to the sky with a straight line. So up to the heaven and down to the center of the earth. So we'll start our first moon salutation. It's called the Chaturanga. There's 16 poses in this. So if you will, let's stand and raise our hands up to the moon. It's not quite in the sky yet. The sun's still out here, but I've noticed, Victoria, the past couple of days that the days are getting shorter, and I'm already dreading it. I love the longer days. This is what happens when we move in through our season. So our hands are up tall to the moon. Deep breath in. As you exhale, bend your body over to the right. So almost in like a little crescent moon position. Bending over to the right, really stretching that left body. And when you're here, take a deep breath in. Start to regulate your breath, maybe a little bit deeper. Exhale. Just think about all that work you did today. You had a lot on your plate, more than most of us, absorbing a lot from other people. Try to inhale here, and then when you exhale, just imagine releasing all of that off of your mat so that you can energize yourself here. You can pour back into yourself so you're ready for tomorrow. Now, that was number 2. Number 3 in the moon salutation is the victory squat. So we made it through a day. It's like a sumo squat. Some people call this a goddess, but deep down in those thighs. So your toes are pointing 45-degree angle to the top of that mat. This is a victory squat. So all we can do these days, Victoria, and I love that your name is Victoria, all we can do is just be grateful that we made it through another day. So deep down in that squat, toes slightly out. You can play in this position. If you're feeling strong, you can rise up on one toe or another. You can also rise up on both if that feels good to you. Just push deep down in here. One more breath in here. Inhaling peace, and we're exhaling out all those things running through our mind. Now release that. Coming back up to our 5-pointed star. So legs stay in the same position. Pressing feet, straightening our legs. Remember, pulling that top part of our body up to the heaven, lowering our ribs, and then the bottom half of our body is being pulled down to the center of the earth. Really getting some good grounding here as we go through our moon salutations. Ooh. I think that was the first time I've shut up all day. I'm going to do that again. One more breath here. Number 5 in the moon salutation is our triangle. So bending our torso over to the right, keeping those triangle legs, fingertips move toward the mat. If you have a block and you would like to use one, you certainly can to get a deeper stretch. But we're imagining one straight line here from our fingers on the left all the way to our fingers on the right. Might feel good to turn those right toes just a little bit more to the side. When I do that, I feel a wonderful stretch in my inner thigh. This is the triangle pose, number 7 in the moon salutation. Can you turn your gaze to the heavens? Look up through that left hand. Maybe open your chest a little bit, pushing the back of that hand on the left to that back wall, really opening that heart up. I can imagine that you and your job have to stay a little bit guarded just to keep your own sanity. Right now, Victoria, just open up. Let your guard down, open your heart. Deep breath in here. Now we're gonna rotate. Number 6 is a runner's stretch. So we're rotating around over our right thigh, placing our fingertips, tipping them just gently on the mat, stretching out here. This is like a runner's lunge. And just play in this, whatever feels good for you. You might want to rock a little bit. Really deep stretch here. You might want to plant your left hand and rotate up to the right. That hand to the sky, another nice side stretch. And then if you're sitting a lot, those glutes get tight. So this is a nice opening in that right glute. Be mindful of your breath. Now plant that right hand back down beside your right foot. Drop that back knee on the left. Come up to your floor lunge. Beautiful. You can stay here, just gently pressing on that thigh on the right. Just being careful about your knee if you have any issues on either side. If you want a deeper stretch, raise your arms up to the moon. Inhale here. Maybe push your 2 hip bones a little bit closer to that wall in front of you, and you'll feel a great stretch in that inner thigh. You'll feel it in your hip flexor. Deep breath in here. One more. As you exhale, spin back around, place your hands in front of you for a side lunge. This is number 8, extended leg squat. This one's tough for me. You can stay here. You can try to come up a little bit with a straighter back, whatever's comfortable for you. But if you can, rotate that left foot, toes to the moon, up to the sky. You'll feel a great stretch. It may even be a little uncomfortable if you're me, way down the inside of that left leg. And play with your hands here. I'm going to straighten my back a little bit, so I'm going to put my right hand behind me. This is the extended leg squat. Just pause here and take a breath or two. Looks beautiful. Now plant both of your hands in front of you. Let's come to a yogi squat, a malasana. So you might want to walk your heel toe, your feet in a little bit. Right in the center. You can squat down, Victoria, if you need to. You can always put a block underneath you or a book. If it's just been so rough of a day and you don't have a lot of leg strength, do what you need to do. It's been one of those days for me. You can take your elbows and press those knees open. Close your eyes here. We're in prayer hands. Just be grateful for all you accomplished today, all the people that you cross paths with that are better because of your interaction with them. I'm grateful that you do that work. So grateful to you. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale, exhale. Now we're going to shift. We're going back around the moon. We're going to the other side with those poses. This is pose number 10. We're going to come out of that squat. We're going to be squatted on the left leg, and now we're going to extend our right leg out. So this is the extended leg squat on the left. Rotating that foot to the sky if you can. Does that feel good, Victoria?
Yes.
Good. For me, I'm going to place my hand back behind my hip so I can straighten up just a tad. Good form, that looks beautiful. Now the next pose, we're going back around to the left. We're going to pivot to our lunge, our runner's lunge on the left. So our right leg is extended back. You can be on your toes. Left knee is bent. You can leave your fingers tented on the ground beside each hand, beside each foot if you would like. Move around. It might feel good to rotate, rolling back and forth on those toes. Runner's lunge on the left. Plant that right hand. Twist to the left and open up that heart. Left hand to the ceiling. Open that chest up if you can. Gazing to the moon. One more inhale here. Exhale, plant your hand. Plant that knee in the back on the right, and let's do our rise to the moon. If extending your arms is too much right now, you can always leave your hands on your thigh. Just getting a really good stretch in that hip flexor on the right. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale it back out. One more. Exhale it back out. We're on pose number 13. This one's the triangle, so carefully plant your hands. Step back up on your right foot. Your left toes are pointed to the left top corner of your mat. Your right toes are facing almost to the front of the room. Extending our right hand above our head. One line from fingertips to fingertips on both hands. Let's move into our triangle here. If you need to use a block underneath that bottom hand, that is perfectly fine. Open up that chest. Open up your heart. Gaze to the moon. Just be grateful. Inhale here. Exhale. Now carefully Rotate those right toes 45 degrees as well as your left toes 45 degrees. Let's come up to that 5-pointed star. Beautiful. Imagine pushing your shoulders away from your ears. So I just caught myself with my shoulders really almost in my earlobe. So I'm pushing them down and back. That releases so much tension. Pretending I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together in the back. Inhale here. Exhale it out. Number 15 pose, we move back into the victory squat. So deep sumo squat, goddess pose, goalpost arms, deep as you can here. This is taking the strength in our pelvis, tucking it under, squeezing our abs in. If you'd like, pick up one of your heels. Pick up the other heel, or maybe both. Just sink down in as if your tailbone is pulling to the center of the earth. Beautiful. One more breath here. Exhale it out. Now release, start to heel toe your feet together. Let's walk back to that crescent moon on the left. So you're in your strong mountain pose, bending to the left as you stretch the right side of the body. Beautiful. Inhale. Exhale here. Inhale. Exhale. As you inhale back to center, rise up to extended mountain. One more time, gazing through those fingers. Remembering how hard you worked today. Being grateful for the time to do this. Hands to heart center. Wonderful. Take a couple of deep breaths here, Victoria. Now let's carefully make our way down to our mat. Meet me in your child's pose, Shuvasana. So in our child's pose, typically we have our toes to touch, knees out wide. I try to align them with the edge of my mat, and then use your arms to traction yourself back with your tail end on your heels. Beautiful, nice. When you're ready, walk your hands out in front and forward fold. Forehead on the mat, if that feels good. You can even roll the forehead out on the mat. We hold a lot of our tension in our forehead, in our eyebrows. Massage that out. While you're here, think about your face. Think about all the tension in your jawbone. Visualize releasing that. Maybe squinch up your nose and your eyes, then release it. Nice work. Now walk your hands back up towards your pelvis. We're going to move into a Thunderbolt Pose. And you can do this two ways. If it feels good to just sit like this, straight up with our torso pulling up to the moon, you can certainly do that. Or you can move your feet out. If you can see my feet. And sit more with your feet out to the side. Whatever feels good on your knees, and only you know that. But this is a Thunderbolt pose, and in this pose, we're going to do gentle neck rolls. So releasing the tension in the neck. One modification, if you do have a block, it might feel good to sit it underneath your tail, and it won't be quite as much of a squeeze on your knee joints. It feels better for me. Or again, if it's too much, just sit on your heels and bring your feet back underneath you. Beautiful. Whatever feels good to you, but let's just take a minute here, palms on our thighs. Let's rotate our neck around. Just releasing all that tension from today. Just slow and steady. If you have a spot that is tense or tight, just hang out there for a second. Inhale, another rotation around. As you exhale, let's rotate the other direction. Everything's creaking in my head. Imagine releasing that jaw and any kind of grip you have on your eyebrows. Everything's loose in your head. Release all that tension. One more. Exhale. Let's come off of our block into our cat-cow. Tabletop position. Shoulders are directly over our wrists. Tops of our feet are flat on the mat. Hips are directly above our knees. This is our cat-cow. On the inhale, we're going to arch our back. Eyes gaze to the sky. This is our cow. Inhale, really imagine stretching out that abdomen. So everything from your neck all the way to your pelvis should be stretching here. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and arch that back in your cat. Counter pose here. Imagine puffing your shoulders up as high as you can to the sky. Oh, arching that back, that should feel great down in your low back. Let's do that again. Inhale, eyes to the sky in your cow. Exhale, chin to chest in your cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now let's take our right leg and straighten it out behind us. Let's take our left arm straight in front of us. Opposite leg, opposite arm. And let's try to use our balance, meaning suck our gut into our spine. And let's roll back and forth on those toes. Really stretch out the back of that leg. Beautiful. Your alignment looks great. Perfect. Rolling back and forth. If you would like, let's lift that back heel. So this is taking a little bit more balance. Keeping your nose towards the mat, gaze slightly out in front of your mat. Let's just try to balance here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release that back to your cat-cow. Let's gaze up to the sky. Blow it out. Arch down the chin to chest. Let's do that again on the other side. So straighten out our left leg, toes on the mat using some leverage. Right hand out straight in front of us. And let's roll back and forth. Let's really stretch that calf, that inner thigh. Maybe even a little bit of a stretch in our right side body. Looks nice. Now, if you can, let's do some balancing. Pulling in our abdomen, sucking it to our spine, lifting that left heel as if it's pulling to the ceiling. We're balancing here. One straight line from our right fingertips to our left heel. breathe here. Beautiful. Release that down to your tabletop. Great job. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, let's push up to our downward dog. Nice. So in this downward dog, let's think about pulling our tailbone up to the ceiling, keeping a little bit of a bend in your knees, and imagine your ears are touching the inside of your arms, right at the bend. So when you do that, it propels you to push your chest back to your thighs. And don't worry if you can't have straight legs here. Most people can't. To keep a little bit of a bend, push that chest back to those thighs. That looks great. Inhale, blow it out, exhale. Maybe walk your dog a little bit, bending one knee more. On the opposite, straighter leg, press that heel to the ground. Pause here. Inhale, switch legs. Press the straight heel down to the ground. Inhale. Exhale, shift to high plank. Take a minute to check your alignment so your shoulders are over your wrists. Rolled up on your toes and your body's a plank. Careful not to push your tail to the sky. Careful not to arch your back. Imagine yourself in a plank. Let's do a modified Chaturanga. The way this works is we're going to lower our knees. We're going to roll forward on our knees to where our arms are completely perpendicular, 90-degree angle to the floor. Then we're going to lower our chest. Then we're going to tap our chin on the ground. Straighten our feet out flat on the mat. We're going to push up into our upward facing dog. We'll do that again. This is a modified traditional. Flip your toes over. A safe way to do it for your low back is to put your knees back down. Tuck your toes, push back up to your downward dog. Beautiful. It looks great. Let's walk that dog out a little bit more. Pushing your ears to your biceps, pushing your chest to your thighs. If you can push those heels to the ground or close, you're really working the whole body. Shift forward to your high plank again. Let's see alignment. Looks beautiful. Yeah. So tucking, pulling that tail down a little bit, sucking the abdomen in tight. Let's lower our knees. Let's lower our chest. Let's tap our chin. Let's push back up into our upward facing dog. Deep breath in here. Flip our toes over. Come back to our knees. Push up to downward facing dog. Good job. Let's do that one more time. Walk that last dog out. Inhale. Exhale, roll to your high plank. Check in one more time. Is your abdomen tight? Shoulders over your wrists, up on your toes. Lower those knees. Lower that chest. Tap that chin. Push up to your upward dog. Deep breath in. Flip those toes. Push back to a tabletop. Push on back to your downward facing dog. Beautiful. Nice. Walk that dog out. Look between your hands, keeping your legs and your arms straight. Can you do baby, walk, almost like Frankenstein legs and arms, all the way up to your hands. Let's do a forward fold here. Knees are slightly bent. You can grab your elbows in a ragdoll. Maybe lay your abdomen on your thighs. Just let go of that tension in your neck. Let go of your head. Let's halfway lift, so putting our hands either on the mat or on our shins. Let's halfway lift into a flat back. So really engaging our abdomen to pull our back in and up. Tailbone is pushing towards the back of the room. Let's fold one more time. Beautiful. Let's root our feet to the ground. Think about some energy here, and let's rise back up to mountain. Remembering why you're here. Hands to chest in gratitude. Now slowly, let's roll up onto our toes. And it's going to take some balancing here, especially after a long day. Let's try to slowly, to the count of 10, lower our tailbone down to the mat. So 10, 9, 8, 7, beautiful, 5, you're so strong, 3, 2, 1, you're in a squat. Just place your hands beside you and roll back onto your tail end here. Beautiful. Straighten those legs out in front of you. Let's get a good stretch in your hamstrings here. So imagine that string pulling your head to the sky, and imagine sucking in your abdomen and hinging forward. If you need to bend your knees like I do a little bit, you can do that. If you're super flexible, you can keep them straight. Let's bend forward over our legs. Maybe you can take your fingers and wrap them around the bottoms of your feet. I want you to feel this really deep down in that low back, all the way into your pelvis, into your glutes. Just inhale here. Exhale, can you release it a little bit deeper? Inhale here. When you exhale this time, can you straighten your knees out a little bit if they're not already straight? Nice. Maybe start to think about your forehead, releasing down to your shins, if you can. Everybody is different, and every day is different. I find that I'm very stiff in the morning, and then I start to get really stiff again after dinner time. So I'm not going as deep. One more inhale here. Exhale, roll back up to our staff position. So our arms are straight beside our hips, really straight spine. For me, Victoria, I have really bad posture. I tend to kind of round my shoulders because I do this all day. So I have to practice rolling my shoulders back and down and sitting on my sits bones, straight spine, looking forward to the horizon. This feels weird to me because I'm not used to this good posture. Inhale, take your right knee and bend it. Place that right foot on the other side of your left thigh. So a seated twist here. As you inhale, twist to the right and exhale out, wrapping that left elbow on the other side of the right thigh. Maybe walking your straight arm on the right out behind you. You can turn your gaze to look over your right shoulder. This is a yummy stretch for me. Beautiful. Inhale, and when you exhale, can you twist a little bit deeper? Beautiful. Inhale, as you exhale, come back around. Let's straighten that right leg out. Let's do the same thing on the left. So pull that knee in, placing it on the opposite side of your right leg. Inhale, straight spine. Exhale, twist with that right elbow on the opposite side of your left thigh. Hopefully you feel this really deep in that left side body all the way down into your hip, and you can turn your head back over your left shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper in your twist if you can, keeping that spine nice and aligned. Beautiful. Release that. Now let's do a fallen deer. So with this, we're taking our right leg. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see it a little bit better. I'm aligning it with the front of my mat. Right angle on my foot, flexed, and then my left inner knee is going to be about 3 or 4 inches away, kind of like almost like a Z or a zigzag position, if you can see that, how I'm doing that. I'll turn this way. So again, pulling our extra stuff out of the way where our sit bones are firmly grounded to the mat on both sides. Really nice, beautiful, straight spine. Deep breath in here. Maybe raise your arms to the sky. Inhale, and as you exhale, hinge forward. Don't hump over, but hinge at your waist until you can't go any further, and push your hands down on the mat for support. Maybe you want to tiptoe your fingers out in front of you and fold. If you feel like you would like to have a block to do this, you can do that as well. But all the while, imagine keeping both sit bones and both hip cheeks on the ground. Release that neck, let it go. Inhale. Exhale a little bit deeper. Walk your hands back up to your pelvis. Let's switch sides on that deer pose. So our right foot is going to flip out away from the body. Our left foot, inner sole is going to be close to our right thigh. Perfect. Imagine again, zipping in your abdomen, straightening that spine, pulling with that string to the top. Beautiful job. It looks great, victorious. Arms to the sky, pushing both of those sit bones on both sides down into the mat and hinge forward. Just go as deep as you want to go. Both sides of your body are not the same. This one is tough for me on this side. I'm going to push through. I'm going to persevere. Ugh. As long as it's not painful, push through it. If it's painful, stop. If it's just uncomfortable, try to push through. Using your breath. Inhale, exhale. Release that neck. Release those shoulders away from your ears. Deep stretch here in that left side body. One more inhale here. Exhale. Nice. Walk your way back up. Let's do a bound angle, bringing the soles of our feet together. Heels are glued and your toes are glued. Spine again, really, really straight. Knees are flailing out, just comfortable here. Maybe take your fingers and bind them around your toes, which will help you kind of leverage up your spine to really straight, beautiful back. Now push those shoulders down. Close your eyes. Inhale here. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale here, release your feet. Let's spin around. Let's do one more pose. Just really to affirm ourselves, affirm our feelings in our gut, pulling our abdomen in. This is a boat pose. The way this works is you're rolling back on your pelvis. You can keep one leg up. You can put both legs up. You can leave your toes tented. But kind of your back is kind of in a 45-degree angle. And if you can, if it doesn't hurt your neck, your arms are extended. This is a boat pose here. If you think of a boat on water, kind of wheel wobbling back and forth, that's how this feels. It's really hard to hold this, but you're sucking in your abdomen. Every muscle in your abdomen and lower back is engaged right here. If you need to put your toes down, that's fine, one or both. Inhale here. Let's hold this for 10. Use your breathing. 8. You've got this, that's beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all the way down, bringing those knees into your chest. Taking a deep breath here and roll around. Give yourself a back massage. Other direction. Whatever feels good for your back and your hips. I want you to take a big squeeze, wrapping those arms around your shin. Give yourself the best hug today. Squeeze, 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 squeeze everything in. Even your face. Squinch everything up. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now release. All the way straight out on the mat. Arms and legs are spread wide, melting into the earth. Everything is heavy and quiet. Shuvasana. Start to wake up your senses, maybe moving your toes and your fingers around a little bit, getting some blood flowing. Take your arms and reach them as far back behind your head as you can. Try to make yourself as long as you possibly can from your fingertips to your toes. Deep breath in here. As you exhale, roll over to your side. Pause for a minute. Hit the snooze button for one more second. Deep breath in here, push yourself up. Come back to a seated position of your choice. Keeping your eyes closed, hands at heart center. Slight bow of your head. Victoria, thank you so much for practicing with me tonight. I hope that you have the best night's sleep ever. I hope this was peaceful for you. I want to thank you and honor you personally for the work that you do and helping so many others. And I hope you continue to rejuvenate and refresh and pour back into yourself so that you can be what you need to be for other people. The light in me honors the light in you, Victoria. Namaste.
Namaste.